This is Dan from Action Figure Magic, and today we are going to do something a little bit different, a little bit special. We've got a Marvel Collector's Corp. This is a Funko Pop crate. This is a Groot, and normally when we do our toy reviews, we start with a stop motion unboxing, and then we have at it, but there's not really much to review in terms of a Funko Pop figure. Sure, they're fun, they're collectible, you can talk about the design, but we are going to do a behind the scenes look and actually create the stop motion unboxing ourselves. So if you're into stop motion, or you want to get into stop motion, or you just want to see some of the tricks I do, I'll explain what I do, how I do it. You'll maybe pick up on some things. If you do it differently, let me know, and I'm always glad to learn and try new things, and hopefully you are as well. So here we go. We've got our Groot as Ant-Man. We're going to need our knife so we can cut the box open, scissors in case we need to do some special cutting, an extra phone to take the pictures with, and a stand to hold the phone. I make mine out of Lego because it's just more fun and it's cheap and it's very dynamic. You can move it around. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to get all our goods out of the way so that we can set up our scene. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the box fly in, then it's going to spin around, and then Groot is going to pop out of the box. So we need to make sure that the camera is set up so that everything is in frame. I'm going to have to adjust the camera, filming the camera, the inception of filming, so that we can actually see everything that we're trying to do in this video as we make the other video. It's all very technical. So here's what we're going to do. We've got the camera positioned. It's almost on the edge of my table, but it's got that flat base on the Legos, so it is perfect. We're going to lock the screen so this way it does not autofocus on Groot as we move him around. That is how you'll make sure it doesn't go blurry in or out, or also change the lighting sometimes. So you just got to be careful with that. So that's why I like to lock it on something that's not going to be changing throughout the video. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking pictures one by one and slowly moving Groot into the frame. So this way it looks like he's going to be flying in. And if you could see on the camera I'm taking the pictures with, I'm very careful about making sure my hand is not seen. So I'm pushing him onto the table. And then once he's in a good spot, I can move my hand away and then just keep pushing it piece by piece. So this way, when we put all the pictures together, and I'm going to be filming at a 10 frames per second rate. So that means every 1 second, I'm taking 10 pictures and I'll put it together. And we're going to show the video at the end and it's going to be fantastic. Hopefully, I don't know. That's an assumption because we're in the middle of making it. So what's going to happen now is I'm slowly spinning him around. So he landed onto the table. He's doing a turn, and then we're going to have him bust out of the back of the box. I like to do that with the Funko Pop figures. I've done these a few with the stop motion unboxing where you'll see the front of it. It highlights how it looks, and then it bursts through the cardboard, which I find better than bursting through the plastic for a few different reasons. One, Funko Pops are in a plastic case, and it has like a little plastic on top of it. So pulling them out of the front of the plastic sometimes can get a little bit clunky and you can move your box unexpectedly. So this actually makes for, in my opinion, a smoother stop motion unboxing. And then we are looking at the back face of it. And what I want to do is see the side over here. Now we can't see the figure. The reason why I did that is because now we're going to open up the top of the box and we're going to make sure not to move the bottom of it, and we're going to slide the figure out. The reason why I do that, because the Funko Pop figure itself is in a plastic case. So if I'm cutting through the back of the box, then I also have to cut through that plastic, which is probably not going to be very easy, versus if I just take him out, and since we can't see him from the front, the figure doesn't even have to be in the box anymore. So we've just removed him. We've just done a complete Harry Houdini, or I guess Grooty Houdini. Harry Groot. There's something in there. So we're just taking Groot out of the box completely, and we're going to put him back in later. He's adorable. We'll take a better look at him in a moment once he's officially unboxed. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start cutting little holes piece by piece, and then taking those pictures one by one. The smaller motions that you make, the more smoother the stop motion is going to be. So we're just cutting piece by piece, little by little, and we're going to cut a slit down, and then we are going to open it up. So this way it's going to peel back, and then we'll make a hole big enough for Groot to fit in, and then we'll put him right back in there, and then he could look like he's busting out of the box. Keep in mind, Groot is not even in the box right now. He's just hanging off to the side. We moved the box a little bit with the scissors. That's okay because as it peels open, it's actually going to make the look of like he's busting out of it. So that it was not my anticipation to move the box as much as I just did, but I've done this before. I know the stop motion is going to look perfectly fine. There's no concerns there. And now what we're doing is we are peeling back the box, and we've almost have enough room for our Groot to get in there. He's got that gigantic Marvel Funko Pop head, so I think we could do it. We're holding the top of the box to make sure that we don't move it unexpectedly. And what we also want to make sure is the last frame you couldn't see him in it, so we don't want him to be just his full face up here. We want him to come at it from the side, so it looks like he was always in the box the entire time, and now he's just stepping into it, and then he's going to start emerging from the box. It's also a little bit tough because he's got those little legs and a giant head, and he keeps toppling over. So I'm trying to get him as best as possible to stand, and I think I might have to get some assistance from my second hand. So it's all a matter of balance. If you're doing stop motion, that's what it is. It's patience and balance and a vision. If you can see what you want to do, you could slowly get the motions to get there. Sometimes I go into a stop motion just completely blank and just let the motions take itself if I'm doing like a dance or a fight scene. But with this one, I have the whole story planned out with what's going to happen. So this is, in my opinion, an easier one for me because I already know every step of the way. So now we got him in there. He's busting out. He's making his presence known. And then we're going to get him onto solid ground and then slowly push away the box so it's out of frame. So then we are focused on the man of the hour or the tree of the hour, Groot himself. So he is now on our solid ground, and we're slowly pulling back the box. And then he's going to do a little bit of a spin, a movement, because if it's just the box flying away, we don't want him to just stand there looking like a tree. We want him to stand there looking like a tree. So he's spinning around, he's dancing. We're probably going to add some language to it, but it's Groot. So all he's going to be saying is, I am Groot. And there we go. So as far as once I take all these pictures, I just use Videoshop for my editing software. You could use any of the video editing softwares. The reason why I like Videoshop, it's nice, it's simple, it's free, and you can change all of the pictures to the frame rate that you want. So if I do 0.1 second exposure for the pictures, that's my 10 frames per second rate, FPS. So in my opinion, for me, I could work much quicker in Videoshop because I've been using it for a while. So that is my recommendation. I'm sure everyone's got their own. I know CapCut's pretty big. I like CapCut for some other, like if I'm using green screen or overlays, CapCut is fantastic. But Videoshop also has really good sound effects that you can use that you'll probably notice very similar sound effects in a lot of my videos. Those are all just embedded in Videoshop, free to use, easy to use, and that's my comfort zone. All right, so there we go. The box is now out of the way, and we got our Groot spinning around, and we've got one more surprise for Groot. So what we're going to do, now that he's center frame, is we are going to have him turn into something. So I've got a pile of sticks right here, and we are going to turn Groot into sticks. So first I'm going to zoom in a little bit on him. So I'm moving him a little bit, but I'm also sliding the camera forward. So as he finishes the unboxing, the camera is going to slowly move in on him so that it's more focused on him. So when he turns into the actual tree pieces, it's more like it's closer so you can see more of the detail. And then I think what we're going to do is we're just going to have the sticks kind of crumble. So right now they're all together. So I broke them up in a way where they're not separated. So this way it'll make it easier and they won't go everywhere. But I'm also going to take a piece of tape and just put it along the back so it stays in the Groot form because I want it to just be vertical so we can swap it out, replace our Groot, and then it's one piece. So not the anime one piece, like one piece of sticks. So we've got that. We are taping it on the back because we don't want it to be visible in the front. So this way it's out of scene, out of sight. And then once we're pushing them down, if it becomes visible, we'll just pick the tape up and put it off to the side. So now it's the Indiana Jones moment where we have to pick up our Groot and put them in there like nothing ever happened. So we just took our final picture of Groot standing there, and now the next frame, he's going to be turned into sticks, and then we're going to slowly push down on it, and the tape is holding it mostly together as much as it needs to be because the sticks are still connected, and it's going to look like the sticks are slowly crumbling. And poor Groot, where is he? He's a crumbling mess. And that was the intention of the stop motion. Again, stick around to the end to see if the vision was actually successful. And if you make your own stop motions, if you get inspired by this, feel free to drop a link or a comment. Let me know what video to watch. If you've already made one and you want to just highlight and be like, oh, I did this, check it out. I love watching all stop motions. I love either getting new ideas or giving advice or insight. So let me know. I enjoy it all. I will watch it. So there we have it. That is the end of our stop motion. We've got our Groot right here. We've got our sticks, everything we needed, everything we had. So if you want to start stop motion, that's all you need. Just grab some things. We'll take a quick look at the Groot. This is the Ant-Man version. I believe those are supposed to be ants on them. They kind of look like blackberries, but I will take their word for it that those are ants. And we are ready to look at our stop motion. It has been prepared. Enjoy.
I am Groot.